Welcome back to Coach Bill's Sports Show. First one to 2023. Excited to be back with you. It's been a minute. Had some stuff going on. Real life happens. We got to take care of it. But it's football season. It's always football season. There is no off season here. So today we're going to get into some of the draft class stuff. Take a look at top 5 for each position that I have. Kind of compare. I know my lists are a little different compared to others. I have some people I'm higher on. I have some people I'm much lower on. But it is what it is. So, without further ado, let's huddle up and let's get into it. All right. So today we're going to do the top 5 quarterbacks in this draft class. No surprises here, but Bryce Young is number 1. Alabama is signal caller. It's considered by most either 1 or 2, just depending on how you have him ranked, how you have it set up. But for me, he's number 1. He is previous Heisman Trophy winner. Has passed for over 8,300 yards and has an 80-12 touchdown to interception ratio. And his biggest thing he's shown is his ability to extend plays, to allow the talent around him to get open and to make the right call. That's the one thing that Bryce has done consistently. He's a dual threat, so you have to respect his run, but consistently he's made plays to extend the passing game, not plays to just run, which is what separates him from a couple people below. He's going to go, I don't know if he goes number 1, unless somebody trades up, which quite possible. We'll get into who's going to run this draft in a couple videos from now, but could go number 1. Definitely will end up going in the top 5. If he drops outside of the top 5, I will be extremely shocked. Another guy I'll be surprised if he drops outside the top 5 is CJ Stroud. The reason he ranks a little below Bryce for me, personally, it comes down to the talent around him has bailed him out more than the talent around Bryce. So let me explain myself. Especially this season. Well, the entire time he's been in Ohio State, he's had amazing wide receivers. There's no doubt about that. But so is Bryce. The difference to me is Bryce is putting the ball where the ball needs to go. CJ's putting it around his receiver, expecting him to make a play. And there's a difference there. Bryce's balls can be caught and ran, caught on the run, caught mid-stride, however you want to say it. There's yak available with Bryce's balls. CJ's balls, it takes a special talent to make some of those plays that were made this season. And that's placement from the quarterback. That's the only reason I have him number 2 compared to Bryce. He did well as a starting quarterback at Ohio State. He's going to be a top 5 He's going to be a top 5 pick this year. He'll be the number 2 quarterback coming out. He didn't face as talented defenses as Alabama, and he had arguably this season more talented wide receivers than Alabama had. So for that, wrapped in a nutshell, that's why I have CJ Stroud at number 2. Nothing against CJ. I think he'll do well. There has been a history of Ohio State quarterbacks that haven't been the best when they come into the pros. But I think CJ might be able to help break that trend between him and, the Bears quarterback is the quarterback for the Bears. I can't think of his name right now. But him and the quarterback for the Bears are going to change that whole mentality on Ohio State quarterbacks. They're both really talented, really successful, but nitpicky here because that's what you do. You got to put one at 1, you got to put one at 2, and that's the nitpickiness I have for that. So there is a big difference between 1 and 2, and then 3, and then after 3, there's a big drop off to 4 and 5. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 all kind of live in the same shell for me. But number 3 is Hendon Hooker. I know that's going to surprise some people. I know you're hearing about Will Levis and Anthony Richardson. We'll get to them later. But Hendon Hooker. Okay? Stick with me on this. Hendon should have been a Heisman candidate this year. If he hadn't been hurt against South Carolina, probably would have been considered for Heisman. 3,135 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions this year. Okay? Solid runner. I think he got 400 some odd yards and 5 touchdowns rushing. Makes his decisions and makes them well. He's able to read defenses, able to read progressions and routes. And the biggest thing for me for him is the leadership he's shown on and off the field, even after his injury. A lot of other guys have stepped away from programs. A lot of other guys have distanced themselves to get ready for the pros. Hendon Hooker made it a point to go and be with his teammates, to go help coach his teammates, to go help encourage his teammates. And that's huge. That is a young man that has shown leadership in a position where you have to have leadership to be respected. His accuracy when he's healthy, second to none. That boy is accurate. His touchdown to interception ratio speaks for itself. Okay, is what it is. He is a phenomenal quarterback. 6'4", about 220. He just fits the mold for a quarterback. The issue is the ACL. Is his ACL 100%? There's reports out there that are saying it'll be 100% before training camp. He should be good to go. I don't know if I feel comfortable rushing him back. Now, if he's good to go, by all means, I'm not going to hold him back. But if there's a single doctor that says, you know what, he's at like 90%, no. The kid's too talented. He's too smart to push him out there and let him get hurt again and go down, unfortunately, the route of RG3. They leaned on him. They leaned on him a little too early. Leaned on him after he got hurt to come back. And it just kind of is what it is. That's what happened with RG3. That's why he's in the booth now. But if you have an NFL team that can give him part of the season or even a full season to get back to 100%, to get back to that game shape, to find that rhythm again, he's going to do special things for that team. Do I see him as a top 5? No, I don't see him as a top 5. The high I have him in is the teens right now, which is good for him. It means he's going to go into a more solid situation. And there's a better chance of him being able to have a bridge year before he has to step up and take the reins. Personally, what I would like to see is the Panthers trading back. I'm a Panthers fan. I'd love to see the Panthers trade back, pick up a couple more picks, and draft Hendon Hooker as one of those picks in the first round. Give him a year. Bring in, P.J. Walker or bring in Sam Darnold or somebody and let them take lumps for a year. And then after you've improved the offensive line, improved some other positions, and Hendon's 100%, then you put Hendon in. And watch how phenomenal this kid's going to be. I keep saying kid. He's a young man. He's a grown-up. So here's the big drop for me. It's between 3 and 4. There's a drop between 2 and 3. There's a big drop between 3 and 4. Everybody after 3 has question marks for me. So Will Levis is my number 4. Strong arm talent. Absolutely strong arm talent. My issue with him is not his size, not his arm talent, not his God-given ability. He can throw a ball. He can throw a ball. No questions about it. He's drawn a lot of Josh Allen comparisons, and, rightfully so. When you look at the size and the demeanor of the guy. He's also drawn some Big Ben comparisons. Again, that's the kind of quarterback you're looking at with this guy. My issue is when the lights get bright, when the game is big, he doesn't show up. Watch the tape this year. Watch it when they were down by 3. Watch it when they were down by 7. He's second guessing himself. He's not pulling the trigger. He's unable to be sure if he's making the right decision. And then not able to get himself out of bad decisions on top of that. Which, it could be a coaching problem. Could have been a coaching problem in Kentucky. I don't know. He could do well with a solid quarterback coach. Give him a year with that quarterback coach, and hell, he may go off and find Jesse Palmer. No. Yeah, Jesse Palmer. He may go off with Jesse Palmer and go through his whole academy and come out on the other side just stomping people. But right now, from what I can see from the game tape, he's a big arm, and that's about it. Another guy who's a big arm is Tanner McKee. He's my number 5. I know this is going to surprise some people. I know Anthony Richardson is everybody's it guy right now. But Anthony's number 7 for me. I've got DTR higher than him. Just for anybody who's curious, DTR is Doran Thomas Robinson out of UCLA. Anthony Richardson's the quarterback out of Florida. Anthony Richardson, let me stop and talk about Anthony for a second. Anthony gives me a Cam Newton vibe. Which, let's be very frank, Cam Newton at the peak of his success was 15-1 and went to a Pro Bowl and won an MVP. If that's your cap, that's an amazing cap, by all means. My issue is his floor is out of the league in 2 years. That is a wide range of variability for me. It is a big old range of variability for me. Whereas Tanner, I know what I'm getting from him. He is not going to be the mobile quarterback. Not going to happen. But he's going to throw darts. He's going to throw darts. 6'6", 230. He's a big boy. He's smart. Went to Stanford. Got to be smart. He played in such an odd scheme at Stanford and didn't have as much talent around him at Stanford that he'll have in the pros. I think with being a pocket passer, that's going to drop him down because, hey, he doesn't really fit today's schemes. But you land him in a good situation where, let's say Minnesota for instance, and you've got somebody like Justin Jefferson who can just burn people. All right, awesome. You land him in Seattle with a big old DK Metcalf that can just muscle people down. Hell, you land him in Miami. We don't know what's going to happen with Tua. You land him in Miami and let Tyreek just outrun everybody. And Waddle on the other side. I mean, there's a place for him. It's got to be the right place. But I see his success being higher than others. His floor is what makes him above the DTRs and the Anthony Richardsons for me. Their floors are so much lower that McGee could go to like a San Francisco. Would be perfect for McGee. I don't need you to do too much. I need you to get the ball where I need you to get the ball to. Let my playmakers make plays. That's all you got to do. If he lands somewhere like that, he's going to be golden. He's not going to be. He could be a Hall of Famer. We could not. But he's going to be solid. He's going to be very solid. He's going to be very consistent. So that's my top 5 for this coming draft's quarterbacks. I'm sure there's going to be some comments about it. I'm sure there's going to be some disagreement about it. Let me know down in the comments. We'll talk about it. I'm hopeful to start having a fan interactive show. Maybe even doing a live stream on Sundays as a possibility. But we'll leave that up to everything else. Thank you for joining us again. Thank you for giving us the time off. Get everything right and get ready for y'all again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.